my video. This will be my end of July / August update for my crafting. If you're new here, welcome. This is my channel where I mainly show my knitting, my cross stitch, my crochet, any kind of project that I'm working on. And if you're returning, welcome back. I hope everyone's been doing good. I guess I could do a little maybe short life update. I mean, I'm a teacher, so I'm still on summer break and I'm really enjoying that right now. I really needed to recharge, and I don't know if there are any other teachers out there that are feeling already some beginning of the year anxiety or jitters, but I am, and I have over a month left still of my break, but it's just going to be another one of those years. I mean, I typically get anxiety over the new school year, but it doesn't start to hit me until like a week or two before I start. It's a whole month, but we'll see. Okay, I have my notes. I'm ready. There shouldn't be much, and I think I brought everything with me. I'm really hoping I did. And I brought my new coffee cup with me just in case I need a drink, and I got this. My bestie Candace, Slub Lover Stitches on Instagram, came and visited me, and we spent like almost a week well, she came to visit me here in New York City. I live in Brooklyn, and she came to visit me, and so I showed her around to some of the places in Manhattan, and it was my first time going and having a Krispy Kreme donut at the one in Times Square. So sometimes it's nice to feel like a tourist in your own city. I mean, me and my boyfriend do go out a lot, and we do go to the touristy stuff because it's nice. But yeah, it's kind of nice to go to like something new with a friend, or in general. I mean, I like Manhattan, I don't mind it. And I'm a lifelong New Yorker, if you didn't know. I've born and raised here in Brooklyn. Actually, the same apartment that I'm in right now is where I was raised. But yeah, so it was great. We did a lot of knitting, we did a lot of chatting. I stayed up way past my bedtime because she is on California time, and that was a big time change for her. And we made some stitch markers, which I love, and I might start a little side hustle on that because I really did enjoy just making little cute stitch markers, but I can't keep them all. And we went on our own, we went on our own yarn crawl. So in April, there is typically like a New York City yarn crawl, and then there is also a Brooklyn version. And I didn't go. I don't know why I didn't go. But when she came, I was like, let's go. So we did hit up Argyle yarn, which was oh my gosh. I could have done a lot more damage than I did. What I got was modest, very modest. I won't do a haul. I don't know. I don't really like doing haul anymore. It's kind of not my thing, and I don't enjoy watching it. So, but if you do want to see the haul, check out my Instagram, Jenna X Stitches on Instagram. I did post about my haul there and my yarn crawl. So we went to Argyle, and then we went to Brooklyn General, and then we were gonna go to Woolen, but they were closed, and we didn't know ahead of time. So since we had already come out of the train and spent a fare, we were like, let's just go to Michael's. And they had a lot of Patton's Croy, which I love Croy socks, and so I got some of that, and they had some on clearance. I got the cutest, tiniest terracotta pot for one of my plants. We bought more little charms to make our little stitch markers, which was a great time. And then we went to Brooklyn Craft Company, which I love as well, for like a more variety store that's not just yarn based. They are fantastic there. But I guess that's it. Just a little bit about my life now. Just hanging out for the rest of the summer, really just trying to get outside more, even though I love being outside. I do like sitting outside and stitching. And I did that with my friend, which was great. And it really made me want to do it more, even if I'm only out for like an hour or two drinking my coffee. Just walk on over to the park, get some fresh air, some sun, and then I can come back home and binge watch TV shows. Because I will be inside a lot once I start work. I mean, we do take our kids out a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go off on some other tangent, and I don't want to restart. So, here we go. Originally, when I was writing my notes, I did not have an FFO for you guys, but I do now. Last night, I stood up. I was watching some plant videos. I didn't watch some Olympics, which I was sad because they were doing track and field, but I stood up. And this was actually going to be a new start. It was in my new start on my notes, but it's a finish now. So I finished My monkey socks! Yay! These are by Cookie A, and you can find the pattern on Ravelry. So these are really, really cute. I really, really like these. The lace chart was super easy to follow. I love this yarn. So this is that Cicada yarn by Plymouth Yarn Company. And they've been discontinued for a very, very long time. But whenever I run across a ball of it, I'm sure to buy it. And it doesn't have a color, like it never had a color name, it just has a color number. So it was 5616 was the color name. Sorry that the sun is coming in and out. Oh, I also forgot to say, I'm in the only room in my house that doesn't have air conditioning. So if you hear the fan in the background, I'm sorry, but I need it. We've had some really hot days in New York City. So here we go. Oh, now the sunlight went away and it looks a little sad, but I love the yarn, love everything. I think I did these on a 2.25 millimeter. That's typically the size I use when I do a 64 cast on for myself. And it was nice to actually make socks that were exactly the same length because I wrote down how many repeats of the lace pattern I did before I close a toe. And I'm really not good at measuring. So I really want to in the future, like either count rows, even though that seems really tedious and it takes away from the mindlessness that knitting can bring sometimes. But I really, really do like making socks that are exactly the same size. And they fit great. I don't really have good sock blockers. If you saw on Instagram, I mainly just put them in these cardboard ones that I made. And that's it. So that was my FFO. And that was in my cute little... I got this bag. This bag has to be like 10 years old maybe. This Ravelry sock bag. Possibly. I don't even know if they sell these on their site anymore or accessories like this in general. I'm trying to see if it has like some kind of year in it. Nope. So, and does anyone else like wash their project bag before they put a new project in it? I try to. There's just something about like it feeling new and fresh and nice and clean, and it's a good opportunity to like really give them a good wash. So that was my FFO. I guess I don't know. It's not really an FFO because it's a SAL, but I did finish my cross stitch. What am I calling it? Oh my gosh, why am I blanking? Oh, this is the Linen and Threads 2021 free stitch along. And I finished July. So I guess I'll show my, I went from like knitting, cross stitch, I'll go back to knitting. But this is the July finish. I don't know why I re-clipped it when I was done with it this morning. Oh, I did work on more in the section. So I won't take it out of the hoop because I don't want to do all of that. But I did finish up July. So here it goes. So July was just filling in these bands right here, which was very simple. And I don't know what is with me and this SAL, but I start working on it always on like the 27th, 28th, like right before the new one comes out. I'm pulling this out and working on it. I don't want to fall that far behind. I already fell behind in March, so I am going back to March and finishing that up. But I don't know. I did the same with, is this the new one? With June. And I know I left out the little piece there. You're supposed to like, it's like a little cone shape around here, but I'm saving it because I'm trying to see what happens around it that might influence the two colors that I'm using. So this is just on some oatmeal DMC, I think a 16 count Ida, and I'm using two Gentle Art. I'm using one in Burnt Orange and the other is Harvest Moon. The yellowy one is Harvest Moon. I love it. I really am I do enjoy it when I work on it, and it is a nice, easy stitch to just have around when you're watching TV like me all summer. Catching up on my shows, guys. This is the only time I'll be able to like really watch my shows. Other than that, I'm too tired after work. Can't do it. Though I have to say, last year I really did put a lot of work-life balance on myself because I really, really needed it. So sometimes I was like, I'm turning off the computer, no more emails, no more text, And when I was working in person, so I'm a kindergarten teacher, and last year I worked both hybrid and remote, so I did a flip-flop in the middle of my week, which was really hard. But when I was in the building, I mean, we had protocols also that we couldn't stay late, because, you know, teachers never leave. But I was really adamant on leaving every day when we had to leave. I wasn't pushing it. I wasn't asking the custodian for a favor. I was gone. And I have to say that really did a lot of good for my mental health last year for working. And I teach in a co-teaching classroom, so I'm a special educator for kindergarten, and so I work with a general educator. It's like a marriage. So we really talk to each other a lot. We've been working together 5 years. And so I really talked to her this year about how I felt. I really, really need that balance somehow. Because we would really burn the midnight oil sometimes. Leave at 7 from the school building. That's really hard, and I know planning is important, but I think this year really made me see what really needs to be done and what can just wait, and we'll get to it. So that was really eye-opening. But it also helped that I only had like 14 kids when I was in person, so half my class size, everybody. ClassSizeMatters.org really is a big thing. Fight for small class size, everybody. Even if your children, even if you don't have kids, or if your children are not in school, they're homeschooled, fight for small class size. It really matters in public school and all schools. Okay, so let's stay on with cross stitch. Sorry for that tangent. It's gonna be one of those videos. Buckle in or put me on 1.5. Okay, here we go. This one I didn't get to show last time because I forgot to bring it and I didn't want to pause. But I've been working on my Meowth TCG card from Birdie Stitching. I'm trying to find like a plain piece of paper to put in the back. I don't have a picture of what it'll look like when it's done, and unfortunately I still don't have computer editing capabilities, much video editing capabilities due to my computer being broken. So I wish I could pop that picture in for you, but I can't. But here it is. And I'm doing, this is on plastic, 14 count Ida, and I'm doing color completion on it, and it looks so good on the screen. Sorry, I'm really amazed. I finished with all the black first, and then I did all the orange, and now I'm working on some of the like yellowy orange, light orange for Meowth's body, which I really, really love. This is really cute. These are like good, like little pass the time ones, and I have a few in my home, and I'm actually thinking of how to display them. So I'm really starting to think, and I really love this style. This is actually from the TCG card game that came out on the Game Boy Color. These screen caps of these Pokemon and how these patterns are made. So they're really, really, they were really already pixelated, so it worked out really well. Love. So that's where he is. That's my current rotation, actually. I say I have a rotation, but I have about like 2 hours left on that rotation before I'll start something, work on something, quote, new. Let's go into my knitting whips. Oof. Oh boy. Get ready, guys. This one wasn't, I had to add it this morning. It didn't have progress, but I ended up adding it because it does. So while my friend Candace was visiting, I decided to work on my shorty version of the Simple Skip Socks by Adrienne Koo. I think this is a free pattern. I'm still going to cover it just in case it's not, but I'm pretty sure it is. And I had made a big version of it, which I showed in my previous video. And now I'm working on a shorty version. So I started the gusset, I did the cuff, and they're just going to be some shorties. So not much there. I actually had to restart because I made them too small. So I had made the, which was weird. It was weird that I made socks for myself too small because I really know my size. What did I do? The 48 cast on? Well, I moved up. I did the 48, but on bigger needles, and I thought it would have been okay, but no. It was not going to fit over my heel. No way. And my other whip is my Subtle Spring Tea. I hope I put the magazine in here to show. I did. Yay! So this is from the spring 2021? I think so. Issue of Interweave Knits. And there it goes. I almost got it on the first try. I am working, it doesn't show any pattern. I am working on this Subtle Spring Tea by Rachel Brockman. Yep, by Rachel Brockman. I am using, and me and Candace talked a lot about this too. I am using Shine Sport Weight from Knit Picks in color Wallaby. And me and Candace were talking about Knit Picks, and this really is like this is really like, it's not sport, it's not DK, it's almost like worsted. And I think that's where I came across my current sizing issues, and also how the garment is feeling heavy. So it's not a spring tee anymore. It's probably going to be like a fall / winter tee because it is heavy. If I wore this, well, maybe on a cool spring day, but this is absolutely a no in the summer. It's warm. And I ended up having to order 2 more balls, 3, because I ran out, and I did alternate, but you actually can't see it, which I'm very happy about. So here it is. I finally finished I got to the ribbing. This, my little progress keeper, I'll move it now, was where it was last time I showed it. And here it goes. I'm not crazy about the fit. Maybe I'll actually try it on. I do have a dress on today. I'll show you guys. But I'm thinking that when I finish the collar, it might pull it up and change the drape a little. I did give myself 2 inches positive ease, but guys, this looks like way more than 2 inches. So it looks too baggy. And I'm not sure I am happy with that, and if I'm really unhappy with it, I might give it away. I know that sounds horrible because I really worked hard on this, but if I'm not gonna wear it, what am I gonna hang it around for? I don't know. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it actually feels okay. Maybe it just needed maybe a tad of just a little bit of waist shaping. Might have helped it, but I really love the yoke. Look at that. It is beautiful. And I was really hard on myself on like not making mistakes and trying to just fudge it, you know? So I really did not make any mistakes in that yoke. I love it. And this was like a provisional cast on, so when I come up to doing this part, I have to do something I've never done before, which is pick up the stitches on the collar here. So we'll see how that goes, because so far on this project, I have 0 mess ups. And that's a first for me, like genuine mess ups that like I really did not try to get by on anything. Whew. See, even just wearing that for like 2 seconds, that was hot. I do have to say the yarn is really soft and lovely though. I do like it. I don't hate it. I'm just a little disappointed because Candace brought over her version, and hers is in like the true weight that the shirt should be in, and it has such a lighter look and feel to it. Oh boy, guys, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. So that was that. New starts. So I'm gonna put my hair up really quick because I am feeling hot. New starts. Oh, my monkey socks are already finished. Sorry about that. So, and another new start, I decided to cast on. Is it in this bag? No, it's not in this bag. What is in this bag? Oh, I know it's in this bag. Sorry. Here we go, guys. All right, here we go. I got this little bag when I went to Montauk with my boyfriend. I love it. I love little bags like this. So I decided to make it a little project bag. And I decided to cast on and get some yarn for... This happened because I had to order more yarn for the Subtle Spring Tee, and I wanted to make enough to make the shipping worth it. So... But I've been being better, guys. I've been being better. I'm not gonna buy yarn lately unless I have, sorry, my ADD is getting me with my plants. Unless I have something to work on with it. I'm not just gonna keep buying yarn. So I've been trying to go into my Ravelry queue and say, okay, I'm gonna make this and get the yarn for it. Sorry if that was really crazy. Oh, did I not print out a picture of this pattern? I wanted to be better about doing that. Oh, bummer. Okay, I don't have it. I'm sorry, guys. I really did not mean to do that because I knew I couldn't edit in pictures. Oh, well, this is the Flax Light Sweater by Tin Can Knits. So a few months ago, or in the beginning of the year on my Instagram, I finished the, just a worsted version of it, just a regular flax sweater for myself. It took me like 5 years to finish it, so I lost weight since then, so it's another huge sweater just sitting in my closet now that doesn't fit. I'm really hoping the tea I make now doesn't meet the same fate, but it might. But I decided to do a light version, which is with fingering weight. And I am using, and this stuff is so soft that I think, depending how this comes out, I think I'm going to use this to make a version of this for myself. And now that I'm talking with Candace, like now I feel like this is like a sport / DK. I don't know, but it says fingering weight. So I'm doing Comfy. This is another Knit Picks, and it's in Peony? Is that how you say that? I don't know. That's the color. I love the way it feels. It's so soft. I didn't have any circular needles available, so I put them on double pointeds, which I really don't mind, but I'm just trying to make sure that nothing falls off. And I'm making a little version for my niece. So here's the little yoke. It's so cute. I really want to get back to this. I decided to do a twisted rib because I really like the way that was coming out, even though it was a pain. And I am omitting the garter section on the sleeves because I really did not like the way that looked on my version. And there's just something I think about the way that I knit personally, that the garter just doesn't lay flat when it's next to the stockinette when I'm knitting, and so it made like this kind of ugly looking bump. So I left that part out. So that was my other new start. So a flax light, my monkey socks, which I finished. Do I have any plans? I do, actually, just one. And I bought the yarn, but I already put it away, so I don't have it with me. But I am doing, oh, whoops. Sorry, guys. Don't want to lose anything. On my yarn crawl, in order to get some yarn, I looked in my Ravelry queue, and I think I queued this project in 2012. I have to see. So it's been on my queue for a really long time, and I said I'm doing it. So this is by Madeline Tosh, and Storyteller Hoodie. I'm finally gonna do it. I decided to do it in like this kind of foresty looking green color, and I'm not 100% sure yet if I'm gonna do the two-tone version or just do a solid color. And I only bought, so you guys help me out here, I only bought 2 skeins so far because if you know, this yarn is not cheap, and I am not a skinny girl, and in order to make this for myself I need, let me see, I'm making a size, I'm actually doing 2 inches of negative ease for myself because I do know I am probably going, now that I'm training for a marathon, I'm getting into another good routine with my eating and all that stuff. I know that I'm going to end up dropping a few pounds. So I actually did 2 inches negative ease because I don't want it to be too big. And so for my size, if I'm doing it in one color only, I would need 6 balls of this yarn. And at $30 each, that's a lot of money. So friends, help me here. So what I did was I bought 2, or Candace bought me 2. She's so sweet. I got 2, and what I'm planning on doing, and we were talking about this, like it doesn't really have a dye lot, right? There's no, it's not like you go to Michael's and you get Karen 1 pound or whatever and it has either says no dye lot or it has that number dye lot. These did not have that. And I tried to ask the woman at the store about it, and I really didn't feel like my question was answered well. But it doesn't really have a dye lot, right? So it's a hand dyed yarn. I guess I just don't understand that so far. Like I feel like I'm still new to hand painted yarns, or not new. I use them for socks. I've never made a piece of clothing for myself or for anyone other than like a shawl, which you can sometimes get away with just 1 skein if you're making a mini shawl, a little shawl. And so I'm kind of really freaking out about the color being different when I go back and buy the other balls. So what I'm thinking of doing is every few rows alternating the 2 balls. Like, will that be okay? And then in a few months, if I buy another 2, like, will the colors look drastic? I'm worried about the drastic difference. I'm not worried about like it like a little bit. Like that if I go out somewhere, you're gonna be able, it'll look like stripes, basically. That's my fear. I don't want it to look like stripes. I want it to all be this green. So if you have any tips, let me know. Like, I really know when you plan these projects, you should really buy from the same batch. You should try to buy all the yarn you need. But I'm sorry, guys. I could not justify, what will that have been? 180 bucks? I couldn't justify that at that moment for one project. And they didn't even have that many balls. I mean, if I was skinnier 5, and even then, that's a lot. That is a lot. So, yeah, knowing me, I probably want to buy 1 extra because, though it says the amounts are generous. I don't know. If you have any experience, let me know. I'll put up a poll on my Instagram also. I just feel a little lost in this area because when I've made garments for myself, except for the Subtle Spring Tee, which had a dye lot, by the way. Like, I've been good at like making sure to get all the yarn that I need in the same dye lot, but it's like that cheap Michaels yarn or whatever that I'm not breaking the bank making an outfit. And this is like, this will be an expensive outfit, or a sweater, or whatever it is, rather, hoodie. I don't know. Help me out, guys. Other than that, that's my only plans. I do have a few cross stitch plans, but cross stitch hasn't been my jam. I'm sorry if you're here mainly for the cross stitch, but it's been really hard to feel motivated about my cross stitch, and I really have scaled back the amount of cross stitching stuff that I've been buying. Not only have plants taken over my life, but so has knitting, and that was my original love and craft. I've always been a crocheter and a knitter. That was my first hobby, really, in terms of yarn and fiber art. And I'm coming back to it, and it feels really good. And I still enjoy cross-stitching, don't get me wrong, I really do. When I sit down on my projects, I'm having a great time, but it's not doing that what it used to do for me, which was I wanted it all the time. But that's it. In terms of what I've been reading, I'll just show you guys really quick. I did start The Song of Achilles. So good so far. I'm not that far in. I'm like page 74. Having a hard time finding time to read during the summer. I feel like we need to do the school version of the Dear. Did anyone else do Dear in school? Drop everything and read? I feel like we need to do that as adults. I need to find a time in my day that no matter what, when my phone goes off, 20, whatever I can dedicate, 15 to 20 minutes, maybe at first, read, no matter what you're doing. And it can't always be before bed, because sometimes I lay in bed and my eyes can only give me 10 minutes. Like, I need to find a time that, or that's not on the subway commuting to work, that this is my time to read my books. So I'm gonna try to think about that. I went to the pool 2 weeks ago and I brought my Beezus and Ramona by Beverly Clear with me. Almost done because it's an easy read. This is like a day read. And then I didn't bring the book with me because it's on my Kindle. I do have a hard copy of it, I just didn't bring it with me. But I am reading A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, which I really love. If you don't know, I live in that area of where that book takes place. And as a community in this area, I feel like a lot have forgotten our history here. It's all trendy and cute and condos and, you know, all this other nonsense, but it was a really struggling neighborhood back then. And still parts of it are. And I was joking with Candace, like, no cupcake shop that they open will erase the history in some of these neighborhoods. You can't come and gentrify it and think that you've changed it totally. I don't know if that sounds really mean. I'm very jaded with gentrification. I live in one of the most gentrified neighborhoods in New York City ever. Like, it is ridiculously expensive. If I lost my apartment somehow, I'd have to move. I wouldn't be able to live where I was born, and that kind of makes me a little sad. But yeah, other than that, I'm sorry to end on that kind of note, guys. Hope everyone is doing well. I will also be releasing another plant video coming soon if you're looking for another plant video. Other than that, I hope everyone is happy and healthy. They are enjoying doing what they love, enjoying crafting, enjoying sewing, quilting, knitting, cross-stitching, whatever you enjoy. If you're into plants right now too, like me, enjoying your plant time. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, everyone.